I call the member for Hughes.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker. And what a dark view the Labor Party have just shown that they have of their fellow Australians. You simply do not trust your fellow Australians with free speech because you don't believe in free speech yourself. What you want to see a government bureaucracy headed by the likes of Mrs Triggs to monitor and control not only the speech of Australians, but the type of cartoons that they can draw. Well, I have a different view. I have a different view of the average Australian. I believe the average Australian is good and they are decent and they reject racism in all manners or that it may come up. I believe that the average Australian has a sense of humour, they have a disrespect for pompous authority, but one thing they've had a gut full of political incorrectness. It's simply a corrosive toxin that is undermining our Australian culture. And the member for Isaacs says today, he says Section 18C is clear, it works, it has clarity. Well, Deputy Speaker, let me go through what happened to the late Bill Leak. This is from his submission. This is from his submission to the parliamentary inquiry only a few months ago. And he said, and I quote, "I was put through 2 months of incredible stress by the Commission, the Australian Human Rights Commission investigation. The first complainant didn't have to justify anything she said. No one asked her any questions, and it didn't cost her a cent. The torturous process threw my life into a state of utter chaos, and it's not over yet. 3 months after the cartoon was published, 2 more complaints were received and accepted by the Commission. So now, 2 months after being notified of the first complaint and 4 months after the publication of the cartoon, the possibility that I may yet be required to defend myself before the courts still hovers like a dark cloud over my life." And 2 weeks ago, Deputy Speaker, Wednesday evening, Bill Leak said in his final speech, he talked about how he had to flee from Islamist terrorists and move to a safe house. And he said, "Last year I realised there's another group of people who are just as capable of making life hell for me if they have failed to be amused by my wit and artistry," of course being facetious. "It's just my luck that causing offence has been made an offence at the same time that taking offence has become fashionable. Now there's a mob that won't only punish you if your cartoon offends them, but they'll punish you if it offends someone else. They may be a little less murderous than your average Islamic terrorists, but they're no less unhinged and dangerous. They're also driven by the same authoritarian impulse to silence anyone who transgresses them against the unwritten laws of political correctness. I'm talking about the thought police of the rogue totalitarian outfit, the Australian Human Rights Commission." 36 hours later, Bill Leak was dead of a massive heart attack. And you come in here and claim that the Section 18C is working fine and you do not want to change a syllable. If you cannot see that there is a problem with what happened to Bill Leak and what happened to the QUT students, well, I say shame on the lot of you. Shame on you all. Now, what is also disappointing, Speaker, is that the program that we heard that Labor are going to run out, the campaign against this is actually divisive and separates Australians. It tells ethnic minorities, Speaker, that they need protection from racist Australians, and all that's there to protect them, Deputy Speaker, is 18C. This breeds division and dissent in our society. That's the campaign that you lot are about to run. So I'd ask you to think twice. Look at what these changes are. Minor changes to clarify the Act, so what happened to Bill Leak never ever happens to any Australian ever again. That's what we want these changes for. Now, Speaker, we hope that Labor get on board with this. We don't want them to see go down this program of dividing Australia, dividing one Australia against the other by this false campaign that they've got.
Order.
And I hope that they change their attitude. The
Order.
average Australian is
Order.
decent and
The
good
member's time
and
has
deserves
expired.